We're going to go ahead and get started. It's so wonderful to see all of you all here tonight. So I, Jackie Colton, President of the Duncanville ISD Board of Trustees, call this meeting of the Duncanville Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of the Board of Trustees is present, that the meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Good evening. Our mission at Duncanville ISD is to engage, equip, and empower all scholars to achieve their unique potential. We will now move to opening ceremonies. Board member, good evening. Good to see you. Board member Vera Cruz will now lead us in the invocation as we start the opening ceremonies.
Good evening. Please bow your head for a word of prayer. Lord, we commit this evening's meeting to you, for we have been chosen for such a time as this. Thank you that your presence in tonight's meeting sets us apart. We pray for favor and protection over all students, administration, and campuses and their leaders as we approach this summer season. We pray for rest and rejuvenation for students and administration. Thank you for the simple but life-changing message of your love for us. May we live in the light of your salvation. Through Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Thank you, Trustee Vera Cruz, for that heartfelt prayer. Now, next item on our agenda are the pledges to the U.S. flag and the Texas flag. If you all would please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you all. We will now move on to the superintendent's report, and I'll turn the meeting over to Dr. Goree.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and welcome to everyone here, and greetings to all of the trustees. It is certainly my pleasure to bring you our superintendent's report for today's date of June 16th, 2025. I start off by celebrating with just a huge congratulations to the class of 2025. It was certainly an exciting time as we celebrated the graduation of 1,079 students. That's something to give a round of applause. We certainly had some incredible accolades and honors within that group. In fact, 74 of our Collegiate Academy seniors not only earned their high school diploma, but also their associate's degrees. The class of 2025 has earned well over $18 million in institutional and local scholarships. We have several students in our class who will attend Ivy League schools. Some of those schools represented are Princeton, Columbia, the University of Penn, and Yale. We have 1 AP Scholar with distinction, 5 AP Scholars with honors, and 32 AP Scholars. We have 7 College Board Hispanic Recognitions Awards, 7 College Board African American Recognition Awards, multiple seniors have enlisted in the military, and over 25 student athletes have earned full athletic scholarships, not to mention over 300 industry-based certification earned through this class. Let's give the class of 2025 a hand. We are extremely excited for what's to come for that class and look forward to following them into the future. As we close out the 24-25 school year, it was important for us to gather feedback from our staff and parents to understand their experiences and perspective. We truly are a school system that sees feedback as a gift. In fact, as we utilize our surveys, they will help us to improve the learning environments, address student needs, and create a positive school climate. A few of the highlights from the survey this year was that the survey first was short. It was only 8 questions, but it's designed to capture the information that we need to improve. We learned that 67% of the staff feel a strong sense of belonging, connection, and respect amongst their colleagues. We learned that 55% of the staff feel that they are building a positive and collaborative environment where staff and students can be successful. 63% of the parents feel a strong sense of community and support across the campuses. Again, we are very grateful to have this data as a baseline, and this will help us to continue to build relationships and championship learning experiences for our students. The Summer of Champions is about empowering and inspiring students through engaging experiences that foster confidence, creativity, and lifelong learning opportunities. We are committed to building an inclusive and supportive community where students can develop critical thinking skills, explore their full potential, and grow through mentorship. Through hands-on learning, leadership opportunities, and meaningful connections, Summer of Champions prepares students not only for academic success, but also for futures where they can thrive, lead, and contribute to a better world. I had an opportunity to visit the Summer of Champions last week, and the students are just so excited about the wonderful learning opportunities that we're creating through our summer learning opportunities, and look forward to continuing that for the next few weeks throughout our summer. Okay. I am going to get through this. Okay. Wow. After 40, I'm going to read to help myself to get through this tonight. But after 46 remarkable years in public education, 38 of those in leadership, Chief of Staff Andre Fields will retire on June 30th, 2025. A true servant leader, Ms. Fields has served as a teacher, campus administrator, assistant superintendent, deputy superintendent, chief of operations, interim superintendent, and chief of staff. She joined Duncanville ISD in 2016. She has provided steady, strategic guidance across multiple departments and led with heart, wisdom, and a commitment to excellence. Her calm presence and collaborative spirits help shape a culture of trust and connection that will continue to inspire generations of educators and students. As we celebrate her retirement, we don't just celebrate her years of service, but we celebrate the impact of a lifetime dedicated to learning, leading, and always being the person with integrity, compassion, and purpose. Over the last year, I've had the opportunity to begin in and spend a lot of the middle of my days with Andre Fields, and I cannot begin to describe the impact that she has had on me as a leader, and I will work hard every day to make you proud. Congratulations on your retirement, Ms. Fields. So that's the first time there hadn't been actual tears. I was close though, but Ms. Fields, you truly do mean the absolute world to this community, and just really excited to see you go into this next season of your life. We will miss you though. Thank you. That does conclude the superintendent's report. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Goree, for the superintendent's reports. Champions everywhere, champion seniors, summer of champions, and we've got the champion of champions retiring, going to the next phase. So, Ms. Fields, yes, so we just have to say thank you. We appreciate you. We couldn't get a better staffer than Mrs. Fields. So thank you for all you have done and have poured into this district. It is appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so with that, we'll now move to item 2D, recognitions and commendations, and I call Ms. Connie Wallace, if she would please approach us. Thank you.
Good evening, President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Goree. This evening, as I do month after month, I am elated once again to stand before you and share that our community has once again stepped up, and when they step up and support, they really show out. And so this month, we have over $8,000, close to $9,000 in donations that we have received. That first one from Scooter's Coffee, they donated 250 gift cards to Duncanville ISD to support our efforts with employee appreciation, our Teacher of the Year, campus leaders and district leaders. They also donated, and next we have Crunch Fitness, who donated 2 one-year gym memberships, and that is also supporting our employee appreciation efforts to really celebrate them, to make sure that they know that we appreciate all that they have done in the classroom and to build our young champions. And we are forever grateful to Barbara and Gary Blevins, their scholarship foundation. At last month's celebration, the academic celebration, we were able to honor one of our Pantherettes with the Hustle Award. They give away a $5,000 scholarship to a young female basketball player that exemplifies hard work and grit. And so we are grateful for those donations. And then we have 4 donations that were made to our Panther Pantry from various donors, who some are repeat donors and some are new donors. And so we are so grateful to everyone in our community for their continued support of all that we have going on here in Duncanville ISD. Are there any questions about the donations report that you have before you? Okay, thank you. Madam President, may I turn it over to our next?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And thanks everyone who donated anything and everything to the district. We really appreciate it, and for you, to make an effort to pour into the district, it doesn't go unseen. So thank you. All right, Mrs. Brown, so good to see you.
Greetings, greetings, Board President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Goree. I am pleased to announce several new hires that we have for the district this evening. The first person I'm going to ask to join me at the podium is Chief Max Guerin, if he would come. We are proud to officially announce Max Guerin as the new Chief of Police for Duncanville ISD. Chief Guerin has served as our interim police chief for the past few months, and we are excited to welcome him into the role officially. Chief Guerin brings 35 years of law enforcement experience, including 27 years with the Dallas Police Department, where he retired as acting deputy chief after leading both patrol and detective units. He also served as police chief in Rockwall, Texas, and as director of health and public safety at the Meadows Mental Health Policy Institute. Most recently, he was the chief operating officer at the Caruth Police Institute at the University of North Texas at Dallas. A strong advocate for student safety and positive community relations, Chief Guerin has worked to strengthen trust between law enforcement, schools, and families. He holds a bachelor's degree from Midwestern State University and a master's degree from the U.S. Naval Postgraduate School. He is also a graduate of the FBI National Academy and is an adjunct professor with the National Center for Biomedical Research and Training at LSU. As police chief, he will continue to lead our department with a focus on safety, service, and community partnership. Please join us in congratulating Chief Guerin on his official appointment.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Stephen Max Guerin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Duncanville Independent School District
of Duncanville Independent School District,
Chief of Police
Chief of Police
of the State of Texas,
of the State of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state,
And I furthermore solemnly swear
and I furthermore solemnly swear
or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
offered, promised to pay,
offered, promised to pay,
contributed, or promised to contribute any money
contributed, or promised to contribute any money
or a thing of value,
or thing of value,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office,
or employment for giving,
or employment for giving,
or the withholding of a vote
or the withholding of a vote
at the election at which
at the election at which
I was elected,
I was appointed,
appointed, okay, or as reward to secure my appointment or confirmation,
or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation,
whichever the case may be,
whichever the case may be.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
And we're going to ask if Chief Guerin has any other friends or family members in the audience. Would you please stand? Thank you. The next person that I'm going to ask to join me at the podium is Darla Moss. We are excited to announce the appointment of Darla Moss as the new Chief Financial Officer for Duncanville ISD effective July 1st. Ms. Moss brings nearly 20 years of experience in school finance with a strong record of leadership, transparency, and strategic budgeting. She most recently served as the Chief Financial Officer for Arlington ISD, where she managed financial operations, supported the passage of a voter approval tax rate election, and oversaw major bond programs. Under her leadership, the district enhanced financial reporting and achieved significant taxpayer savings through strategic bond debt management. Her previous experience includes CFO roles in Midland ISD and Liberty, Liberty ILO ISD, where she led system upgrades, implemented zero-based budgeting, and earned consistent recognition for financial integrity. Ms. Moss holds a Master of Science and a Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting from Texas A&M University, Texarkana. She is a registered Texas School Business Administrator and an active member of the Texas Association of School Business Officials, Texas Association of School Administrators, and Government Finance Officers Association. Please join us in welcoming Ms. Moss to the Duncanville ISD leadership team. And if Ms. Moss has any friends or family, would you please stand in the audience? Thank you. Thank you. The next person that I'm going to ask to join me at the podium is Christopher Malone. We are excited to announce the appointment of Christopher Malone as the new Executive Director of Technology for Duncanville ISD. Mr. Malone brings 22 years of experience in technology leadership, infrastructure management, and systems innovation in public education. He most recently served as the Executive Director of Information Technology for Cedar Hill ISD, where he led a major network overhaul, launched a one-to-one technology initiative, and secured federal E-rate funding to support long-term improvements. Prior to that, he served as the Chief Technology Officer for Grand Prairie ISD, leading the district's virtual learning transition and developing tools like the Parent Tech Academy and data dashboards to support schools. Mr. Malone also held technology leadership roles with Dallas County Schools and White Settlement ISD, and began his career in the private sector as a network design engineer. He holds a Master's of Education in Educational Technology from Texas A&M University and a Bachelor of Science from Tarleton State University. With a strong background in instructional and operational technology, Mr. Malone is well positioned to support innovation and student success in Duncanville ISD. Please join us in welcoming him to our team. And if Mr. Malone has friends or family, would you please stand in the audience? Yes. Thank you. And last but not least, I'm going to ask Mr. William Henderson to join me at the podium. We are excited to announce the appointment of William Henderson as the new head boys track coach for Duncanville ISD. Coach Henderson brings over 15 years of experience as a coach and educator, including his work as a career in technical education or CTE teacher, and his leadership in developing student athletes for success at every level of competition. Coach Henderson began his career in Duncanville ISD as a middle school teacher at both Kennemer and Reed Middle Schools, later transitioning to Duncanville High School as a CTE teacher and assistant track coach. He returns to the Panther family after serving as the head boys track coach at DeSoto High School. He is also the owner and head coach of the Texas SWAG Track and Field Athletic Club, where he has coached athletes competing in Amateur Athletic Union, Texas Amateur Athletic Federation, and USA Track and Field events. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration from Jarvis Christian College and is a USA Track and Field Level 1 certified coach and official. Additionally, he is in the 2022 Jarvis Christian University Athletic Hall of Fame. With his proven leadership, community connection, and passion for student success, Coach Henderson is well positioned to lead our boys track program forward. Please join us in welcoming him back to the Duncanville ISD family. And if Coach Henderson has friends and family in the audience, would you please stand? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown, for those introductions. Chief, Ms. Moss, Mr. Malone, and Mr. Henderson, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you and glad you selected Duncanville ISD as your next work home. Thank you. Okay, our next item, we will now move to conduct a public hearing to allow public participation in the discussion of the proposed budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year for the General Fund, Child Nutrition Fund, and Debt Service Fund. The presenter is Brandy Mayo. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gorey. I am here to discuss our public meeting for the 25-26 school year budget. So as I go through the budget presentation, we're going to talk about a lot of the similar things we've talked through the budget workshop, and then we're going to explore some of the changes we've experienced in the legislative session since we last met. Our budget priorities, as we've gone through this entire year and through this budget process, remain consistent. Fiscal stewardship and operational excellence, ensure budget alignment with the district's strategic priorities and a focus on student achievement, implement a competitive and market-aligned salary structure, and maintain a healthy fund balance. Today's topics will include the budget assumptions that we use to build the 25-26 budget, the budget adoption information. We'll have a discussion on the impact of local, state, and federal funding for Duncanville ISD and Texas ISDs, and we'll talk about a legislative update and expectations for our future. The budget assumptions to build the budget have been consistent with our last meeting. The fiscal year will start July 1st, 2025, and go through June 30th, 2026. Our taxable assessed value growth is consistent at 3%. We've had our first and second preliminary notices from DCAD, and we are sticking with a 3% value growth. Our tax rate will be 1.1027 with an expected enrollment of 11,232, and that's based off our demographers' projections. We do project some losses in ADA or attendance of about 308 students, and that will bring us to an average daily attendance of 9,987, and that's based on 93% attendance. This budget will be based on current legislation. So as you know, we've gone through the legislative process, and while the legislative process has ended, we're still working through some of the details of some of the items that have affected Duncanville ISD, and we used a tax collection rate of 98%. In our last board meeting, the Board of Trustees approved a teacher pay raise to Duncanville ISD teachers with a new starting salary of $61,000. Please note that the starting pay for certified bilingual and SPED self-contained teachers for Duncanville ISD with this new approved rate will be $65,000. The board and administration reviewed this to become more marketable and comparable with our area districts. Fund balance estimates for the 24-25 school year still are expected to be strong. We have a current budget in our budget amendment that we'll see today as a deficit, but we do believe with salary savings and non-payroll savings that we have discussed in prior budget workshops that we will come in less than that $18 million deficit and still maintain a healthy fund balance as we go into the 25-26 school year. These are the 25-26 investments and reductions. This remains unchanged since our budget workshop. We just wanted to revisit those items. So these are, as you can see, there are investments here, but there were reductions that were through the cost containment efforts of administration to show a total one-time and ongoing reduction of $2.1 million. The 25-26 budget by function based on current law. This is the same budget by function that we reviewed in our budget workshop, and this is the budget by function that I will ask the board to adopt later on in tonight's agenda. So here's where we get into some of the changes. So when we last met, we had done a lot of work on how we expected House Bill 2 to affect Duncanville ISD. Since then, when the bill was approved in the House and went to the Senate, there were a great many changes that occurred in the Senate as it went back to the House. So one thing we want to talk about right now is the reason we're adopting on current law is the budget must be adopted by legal requirements by June 30th. We do not have full interpretation of House Bill 2 and some other bills that are going to affect Duncanville ISD's revenue, and we're working on that now. We did receive some information from TEA on Thursday at about almost 8 p.m. that talked about the teacher retention portion, but we have not received clarification on the other pieces of the law. The current law establishes our required parameters of fiscal responsibility, so we want to make sure we're reviewing all of those. And then we will come to the board with a future amendment once we have identified and have information about how the law is going to affect the revenue. And we will come back to the board with a budget amendment to correct the budget based on the legislative updates. So I want to pause and just take an opportunity to talk to the board and to our community about the balance between local and state revenue. So in 2019, in the legislative session, there was a bill, House Bill 3, that revolutionized and changed a lot of school funding. In that bill, it sort of created a balancing act between local revenue and state revenue. So in Texas, school funding is a combination of local tax revenue and state aid. As local property values increase, the state reduces its share to keep total funding relatively flat, all other things remaining equal. This means that even if Duncanville ISD collects more in local taxes due to rising values, which we are seeing in our community, the district doesn't necessarily receive more money overall. So state funding is adjusted downward to offset the gain. This system ensures equity across districts but limits growth in total revenue unless the legislature increases the basic allotment or other funding formulas, which is what we are going to be experiencing now with the passing of House Bill 2. So we're going to kind of talk high level, and then we'll get a little bit more into detail. And please know we have not received our estimates. We have some overall high level estimates from some of our supportive experts, but we do not have all the very specific details. But we're going to share with you what we know now. So Texas Public School funding and our HB2 allotments include teacher and staff pay raises. It includes money for basic costs such as utilities, transportation, and other operational expenses that we already have on the books. There's increases in allotment for special education, student populations, school safety, CTE, and early learning. So all of these components together, along with an increase in the basic allotment by $55, we have received our first proposed estimate that the impact for Duncanville ISD will be about $6 million. So part of that is the teacher retention allotment. So districts with 5,000 plus students, which would include Duncanville ISD, would receive a $2,500 stipend salary increase for teachers with 3 to 4 years of experience, and a $5,000 salary increase for teachers with 5+ years of experience. All other items, there's a $45 per student adjusted average attendance that will pay for some of the other items that we were seeing on the prior slide. Any changes as we learn this and begin to add this funding to the budget will require the budget amendment that we will do in the first of the new year. Timing of changes is going to be determined by the language of the final law. So we're receiving all that. I did review the bill. It's about 257 pages of legal language, and so we're waiting on that for the experts to review that. I can decipher some things, but it is very difficult and complicated. So just to kind of dig a little bit more into the weeds. So we're getting House Bill 2, Texas Public School funding, a basic allotment increase of $55. Current law did say that when the basic allotment increased, it triggered a raise. That's how it was implemented in House Bill 3 back in 2019. That piece is gone. So that's where the teacher retention part comes in. And then, as we said, teachers with 3 to 4 years is $2,500, teachers with 5 years is $5,000. But please keep in mind that House Bill 2 does not allocate funds for teachers that are 0 to 2 years experience. Other staff adjustment that we mentioned would be $45 per adjusted ADA. So that's the number, average daily attendance. So that's not enrollment, but that's the students who come on average every day in the year. And it does not include non-administration is included in the estimates. So what's left after funds after the teacher and staff and the basic cost spend, so money that we can truly use with our discretion to reduce the deficit, is about $2.2 million. Now, the money that is for the other costs that we mentioned, the allotment for the basic cost is based on this estimate, about $1.2 million. That will positively affect our bottom line because we already have utilities, we already have transportation expenses in the book. So just keep that in mind. It's not as flexible as maybe we would like, but it is positive. Any changes, again, will require a budget amendment, and we are still waiting on the timing of the law. So just to kind of give you a visual of where so this is after the board approved the raise out of the current budget. So House Bill 2, no allocation, 0 to 2 years, $61,000. 3 to 4 years is listed there with the $2,500. So this is with the new starting salary. And then $5,000, 5+ years with the $5,000 increase will be $67,000 for our teachers. So we are very pleased to have the support of our teachers for Duncanville ISD. And then, as we mentioned before, the bill does not accommodate teachers 0 to 2 years, and so it is administration's recommendation for a future budget amendment to consider teachers that are 0 to 2 years to have an additional amount to salary, $1,250, which would bring their starting pay to somewhere around $62,250 as a dedication for Duncanville ISD for those teachers that are 0 to 2 years. So we're not asking the board to approve this tonight. We wanted to bring it up as talking points so that we can know that we are supporting our teachers for 0 to 2 years, and there will be a district administrative, can't get that word out, administrative recommendations going forward for those teachers. And then as we learn more about that additional other staff funding, and once we know more about that, the district will be bringing additional recommendations for raises for other staff. So we would like to know what staff are included in other staff. We have a very good idea, but we'd like to know the details of that. We would like to know the revenue that's going to, the funding that's going to be there to support the other staff, what that raise looks like, and what the district can support out of the current budget for any other raises. So that is detail work that's been going on right now by administration. So next steps. So we still have a lot of work to do. It's been a rough legislative session. We've done a lot of analysis, and then we scrapped it all, and then we did it again, and then we visited, and then we did it again, and here we are again. So we're at the end of the legislative session. The bills have been signed. They are approved. And so now we're digging through the details. So in July 2025, any updated entries to the compensation manual will be handled then. So as we learn, I think initially there was thoughts that some of the teacher pay raises could be treated as stipends, some of that language going back and forth. And so once we know how those can be applied according to the law, the comp manual may have to be adjusted to accommodate that. And so the comp manual will be brought again in July if that's the case. In July, we'll be receiving our certified taxable values, so we'll be able to submit our MCR to the state and get our final tax rate and understand what our taxable values are and how that's going to affect revenue. In August, we're expected to approve budget amendments that will be brought as a result of HB2 and any revenue updates as a result of certified values or any other items that may have affected the bottom line for the budget. In September, we will adopt a tax rate, and then from September to December 2025, we just start over again. So we'll begin with cost containment, reviewing budgets, looking at expenses, and going through that process again, and then budget development will start according to the calendar as we go into the new year with Ms. Moss. And that concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Seeing none. Okay. Are there, I actually have some.
Oh.
On the 0 to, well, that's proposed. On, I don't know what, on slide 14, the 2.2 million, how is that calculated?
I have a spreadsheet, so let me get to those details. So we received an update from one of our partners that we work with, and that is calculated by the total. Okay, here, sorry, I can't find my own notes. So we have the total projection of just over $6 million. Then we consider the required raises for teachers and other staff. And then we remove the basic cost allocation for transportation, utilities. Now, while that does positively affect the deficit, this 2.198 is the estimated money that the board and administration could use to offset the deficit with the most flexibility. So that number is minus the raises and minus the basic cost as they're describing it.
So Brandon, this is where you started the 6 million figure, then you take the raises from that and the allocated resources, and this would be the dollar amount that's left, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. I don't have any further questions. So, are there any public comments on the proposed budget for 2025, 2026 fiscal year for the general fund, child nutrition fund, and debt service fund. Okay, there are no public comments. Is Julia Oglesby present?
Right here.
Yes, ma'am. Did you have any public comments? Someone handed me a note.
Yes, I would like to.
Okay. Please come forward. Thank you. And while you're making your way to the front, please allow me to read the following. Speakers will limit their comments to 3 minutes. If more, well, okay, yeah. You have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'd like to read a letter on behalf of some of our staff and paraprofessionals that I work with at Kennemer, as well as with the high school, with our SPED education team. And it reads as, we'd like to express our deep concerns regarding current state and profession and the formal request for wage increase, along with improvement in our working conditions. A recent survey was conducted by the Southwest Dallas AFT, revealing that 48% of the employees surveyed stated that a pay increase would mean less strain on financial matters, in addition to 58% respondents stated they do not have healthy work-life balance. As teachers, we are passionate about shaping the minds of our students, yet we find ourselves increasingly challenged by the multitude of factors that are impacting our ability to perform our best. It is imperative to address those issues on teachers' burnouts. Many of us are experiencing heightened levels of stress due to escalated workloads, compounding by the ongoing challenges of classroom discipline and management. An overwhelming 69% of our staff who respond to the survey stated salary is the #1 issue that causes our work-related stress, followed by workload and lack of resources. The responsibilities of teaching have expanded far beyond the traditional role, as we are now required to address a range of social and emotional issues that our students face. This shift has made our role significantly more demanding, resulting in many educators feeling overwhelmed and under-depreciated. Moreover, the rising inflation has further strained our financial well-being. As the cost of living continues to increase, our salaries have not kept pace, leading to financial insecurity and, for many teachers, the rising cost in healthcare premiums and lack of increased contributions has caused some teachers to choose healthcare options that offer less coverage. This situation has greatly impacted our personal lives and our ability to adequately provide for our families. The current district restructuring is having a significantly negative impact on some of our staff. The additional stress of impacting, moving, and acclimating the new cultures and affecting the moral and the social emotional health of loyal district staff that are being involuntarily displaced.
Mrs. Oglesby,
Yes,
I'm sorry, your 3 minutes is up,
that's okay.
but we certainly appreciate your comments and thank you for your dedication to this district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
So are there any other public comments on the budget? There being none, the hearing is now closed. We will now move to communications from citizens to discuss pending agenda items before the board. There being none, we will now move to closed session. Thank you. Good evening. We are now back from closed session, and we will continue with our agenda items. We will now move to take action on items from the closed session. Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to issue a one-year contract to Antoine White for the position of Deputy Police Chief?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion? There being none, please cast your vote electronically. The motion passes unanimously, 6-0. Thank you. Our next item is item number 10. We're making a slight revision to our agenda item. And so item number 10 is the 10C, the bond update. Thank you, Mrs. Fields.
Good evening, President Colton, board members, and Dr. Goree and waiting audience. Again, it is my privilege to present to you the bond update for this month. Last month, we had a little short turnaround time, and so we've had a lot of activity over the last 2 months where we're bringing you an update tonight. Joining me shortly will be, of course, representatives that support us throughout the process. Our representative, Mr. Kamar Hawk from LAN, Mr. Andre Brackens, who's principal there at Huckabee Architects, and of course, our partners with WRA. What you have in front of you, board, and I think you have it at the dais if I remember correctly, that you have an update here of where we are with the initial projects by package. And you can see package 1, 2 are in construction, 3 is 100% complete. And then, of course, we're in bidding for Central, and you're going to hear a little bit more about that next month. Brandenburg is still in the design phase, and of course, the other ancillary buildings, the Idea Hub, the Plaza, et cetera, are in the design phase with WRA Architects. Our project packages, and you'll be hearing from Mr. Brackens here in just a moment, but of course, we were so excited, I guess in May, we had the groundbreaking for the CTE Center, and you're gonna see a little bit more about that shortly. Our Smith Early Learning Academy is in design phase, and you will hear also from Mr. Brackens about that. And there's a lot of work and a lot of dirt turning and a lot of moving and shaking going on at Duncanville High School. Our bond schedule there, I won't belabor that, but you see kind of in another format by the quarter where we are with design, bid, construction, and then, of course, close out in 2026. And then WRA, of course, you see those packages there and in another format as well where we are and what's being done there at those particular campuses. And so we're so excited for the work that has been done, the upgrades, the flooring, the air conditionings, all those things that have been taken care of as part of the packages. And of course, as I said, you see which is under construction and which is complete. And so I'm just going to scroll through these very quickly. Flooring, and you can see there, hallways, lockers. We're taking out most of the lockers at a lot of the campuses. And of course, a lot of renovation work in the classrooms throughout the school district. There's Byrd Middle School. You can see the finished floor there. Reed Middle School, all nice and shiny, new flooring for them. And then Fair Meadows, you see there really the demolition there. And then Maryfield, of course, all this work, they're going to be complete over the summer so that we'll be ready to open. So they're working weekends, nights, et cetera. That's when the crews are doing a lot of the work. And I'm going to, hey, he's here, come on. I want you to do this part, Seth. For Central Elementary and the design, they have a video for you all, and I think it's the next thing. Come on.
Thank you, Board, for having us. We're very excited to present the video and design for Central Elementary School. It kind of does speaking for itself. Do you need to click it, or if I click it, we'll let it go? My speaking part's over. I'll hand it back to Ms. Fields. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens, for that presentation. So you can see how exciting that's going to be for the scholars at Central Elementary School. I think you're ready. I know this is a familiar face, Mr. Bracken's coming forward.
All righty. Well, President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Goree, thank you for this opportunity to give you an update on Smith Early Learning Academy, the Little Champions. We're pretty excited about the immersive experience that they get the opportunity to have, and I would definitely be remiss without obviously thanking, again, Ms. Fields, thank you for your exemplary leadership and your commitment to the students and to Duncanville ISD. Learned a great deal from you, so grateful for you. Also grateful for our team at LAN and the project team, and also thankful for everyone involved giving us the time that we needed so that we could do what we do, and we wanted to make sure that we grabbed that. So I'm going to go through these slides pretty quickly, but I wanted to give you a sense. If you take a look at this floor plan, really the top of the floor plan is the front of the building, and that faces Big Stone Gap Road so that you can just kind of get some orientation. And to the left of that is South Greenstone Lane. So that gives you some idea in that floor plan. And you'll notice all of the color coding. They are basically really designed both in terms of color, but also season. You see blue represents winter, green represents spring, yellow represents summer, and red represents fall. And as you walk into the front of the building, you see those little paws. They're color-coded to provide wayfinding so that our little ones can find their way throughout the building, and then whatever specific area they're assigned to, they're able to experience. So let's go through and give you some idea of each of the areas and each of the immersive experiences. The first one is the ocean. So you can see that that room is designed to obviously reflect all things nautical. It gives the students the opportunity to come in and learn. And each one of these immersive experiences is immediately off one of the existing classrooms. So they each get this, out of all these 9 experiences, they each get to have this experience. The transportation experience, again, planes, trains, and automobiles. They get a chance, our little champions get a chance to experience that through the graphics and through the educational delivery. Now, one of my favorites happens to be construction, so they also get the opportunity to have that immersive experience and see what it's like to, have a hard hat and safety goggles and all of those things that contribute to their learning. Space, we're excited about giving them the opportunity to understand and experience what's in our solar system and what's in our vast universe. So once again, an immersive experience. The plant experience as well. So they get a chance to see plants and nature and all those things that are very tactile and experiential in all of those opportunities that they get. Hey, there's a farmer's market. So they get to learn about vegetables and farm life and how plants grow and what it's like to experience those. And again, we want them to have an immersive experience and that really to enhance the educational delivery for our little ones. Also animals. We want them to be able to experience this again in an immersive environment. And, a couple of things that we're even looking at is potentially making it specific to the Dallas Zoo rather than generic. So we're still going through a couple of items in terms of those graphics so that they can really identify. And then for our little champions, they're absolutely marvelous. So they get an experience of Marvelous Me. And so they get an idea of what it means to be healthy, some of the stretches that they can do, and just to show how much value they have as little champions. Also their community. As we talk about champions and the city of champions, they have some things that they can definitely identify with. They'll be able to see Panther Stadium, and they'll be able to see our first responders and a fire station, and being a part of the city of champions and what it means to be in that community and the support that they receive. So I went through that pretty quickly, but it's an immersive experience for our little champions, and we're very excited to continue in the process. So thank you for the opportunity to serve, and I'd be happy to address any questions or turn it back over to Mr. Hogg. Any questions? We're good? Okay, Coach McNeely. Yeah, no, well.
And he'll come back.
There is a gym, and there's an internal play area. So
He'll come back.
Duly noted.
He'll come back and coach the 3-year-olds.
Trustee Coach McNeely, duly noted.
Good evening, President Colton, trustees, Dr. Lamar, Corey. We are here to update you. The big thing coming up is we are in the bidding stages of Central Elementary School, and that's a big participation. We have 12 active contractors, general contractors pursuing this project, all the way from Dallas and forward. Both sides of city people have come in and worked with them. Because of the architect, because of the design, because of the timing, and because of the availability of the building without students, without staff. So it makes it more appealing, and it's all for the next year to be finishing. So all that strategy is playing well, and hopefully next month we'll share some positive feedback over the bid. Smith is next in line to be bid, and then Building J for the Duncanville High School is bidding. So we're bidding strategically 3 different buildings, and the same thing will happen next year. We'll finish the addition CTE first, then Central, then Smith. So it's just going to be, we have bid backwards, but we're finishing that one first and that. So that's our game plan. Construction has started full. Oh, and then Duncanville High School, we have finally, look at the building is already gone. The portable complex is fully engaged. All 16 portables and the 2 restrooms are in place. I'm hearing a lot of feedback from the community. What is this portable city? It's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary. So they are all there. We have got it aligned. The building is demolished and they are inside the M building. That's already gone, okay? You can see the building is already, concrete work is supposed to start next week, and then we'll follow up with the structure. Here's the portables complex coming along. Since we have taken this photograph, all the ramps and steps are almost complete. IT technology, the data center work is, Idea Hub is moving along. Instructional, the classroom material has been received for all that. So we are going to do the 10 schools first, get all the flat panels there. The high school, Smith Central, all that is next year. The only thing high school will get a partial, just a charging station and few things for this year. So first 10 schools will get everything there. Portable complex I've already updated. And these are the upcoming events. Again, construction started on that one, trying to finish that early. Then we'll bring the J building next month, Central Elementary next month, and Smith will be in September. Any questions?
Yes, you know I'm alumni, but I do get questions not about the portables, but about the sign. I'm going to call it a monument sign. Don't know if that's the name for it, that says Duncanville High School. If you show the picture of the high school with the building, that one, or that one, to the left where that white truck is parked, there was a sign there that said Duncanville High School. It was, ooh, they noticed it. So are we going to bring it back, or will it be moved? I hope somewhere.
It's gone.
I know.
But we are going to bring, there's another sign. There'll be another sign, a new sign.
Maybe we could put it somewhere on the backside even, somewhere. They're tied to it. That's all I can tell you. Somewhere.
It probably will have to be replaced based on.
Oh, did it
being
break?
able to- Yes, because it was nothing but concrete, and so for us to have to move
Okay,
it. So
I can break it to them, but a new,
break it to 'em.
improved sign
we
is
will
gonna.
have new
Yes,
signage.
new signage.
We have new signage for the,
Okay.
we did try to, we said, was there any time capsule? I asked, I tried to find out any time capsules or anything under there, but it was just it was basically concrete. But
Yeah.
we will, because of the portables and all the movement, we had to move it, and so.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll, I'm sure, there'll be a new sign that the public will be pleased with. Are there other questions?
Are there any additional questions?
No, I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you all very much. We have a lot to look forward to. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so we're going to now move to take action on the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the consent agenda items.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second that we approve the consent agenda items. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion? Being none, please cast your vote electronically. Okay, motion passed unanimously, 6-0. Okay, we now move on to action agenda item A. Approve.
Okay, so we're good. Okay, good. So.
Okay, so we now move on to the action agenda item A, approve Duncanville ISD Region 10 list of cooperatives and fees.
Good evening, President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gorey. Region 10 Administrative Services Package is a comprehensive suite of support and training services offered to school districts, charters, and private schools by Region 10 Education Service Center. We have participated in the Region 10 Service Center Administrative Package, but we wanted to bring it to you because it exceeds $50,000, and so we are asking for board approval for the Region 10 Administrative Services Package that does benefit the entire district wide, not to exceed $55,000, and it is paid for out of the general fund.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the district's list?
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion? If not, please cast your vote electronically. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Mayo. Okay. Next is the approval of purchase of new copiers, printer network equipment by Ms. Mayo.
Thank you, President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gorey. I'm here to ask for approval for the new, proposing to move to Canon copiers from Xerox. So at the end of December, our Xerox contract ended, and so we made the decision to go month to month at that time. At that time, it was in the middle of the school year. It wasn't conducive to do a big copier change. We did not have a purchasing director on staff, and so we were going through a lot of changes. And so we went month to month with our current to maintain consistency and continuity throughout our schools. As we reached the end of the fiscal year, we started to review what opportunities that we did have, and we were able to go out with a cooperative bid with Canon Copier Services. The reason we did a cooperative versus going out for RFP is, there's not a lot of large-scale copier companies that we could utilize in our district. We were already utilizing one, and Canon was the other. When we reviewed on the co-op with Canon, we chose Canon because the annual cost savings is about $60,000 per year, about $5,000 per month. The new contract will include Uniflow and paper cut capabilities, which is kind of a remote opportunity that we have. So you can print from your desktop and then walk to the main copier, and it creates efficiencies and saves money. So it's a system that we're using now, but we'll be able to enhance and utilize those capabilities. The other key savings and work with this is Canon. We're moving from 152 machines to 97 machines based on productivity by location. So this saves an extra hardware to better outfit each location with better efficiencies. So when campuses, they do use their operational budgets to cover these leases. So this gives campuses more autonomy and more control over their non-payroll, over their operational non-payroll budgets. And so that was another great benefit to this. The transition is to start upon board approval in late June and go on to early July with the complete replacement ending by the end of summer in preparation for the start of school. One other great benefit of going with Canon is that they are able to outfit our new print shop through the bond, so with CTE. So we're able to use the same vendor to supply the printers for that alignment, and it'll coordinate with the district, so we're streamlining the vendors used for major purchases throughout the district. The total request of this is $316,563.84. Purchasing will come back and work with technology to explore this opportunity come January to make sure that we are receiving the services that we were in contract with. So we would have an opportunity to go out for RFP in January, still make it by a summer change if we needed to for next fiscal year to make sure that we're getting the best cost and the best service for Duncanville ISD.
Do they take our old copiers or do we sell them?
That is a great question. So I believe that Xerox is going to come pick up the machines. I think there was a coordination that we may be using some of the machines that were there, but any machines that we were leasing through Xerox, they will come and take them and exchange them out. Technology is going to work to support that effort to make sure that all of the equipment, all of the data sources and everything that they need is going to be on site, so it's a smooth transition. Mhm.
Are there any other questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve as presented the purchase of new copier printer network equipment from Canon Inc. under the DIR Purchasing Cooperative for the amount of $316,563.84?
So moved.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second. Are there any further questions, comments, or discussion? There being none, please cast your vote electronically. Okay, the motion passes 6-0. We'll move on to action item number C with Mrs. Mayo, approval of the 25-26 budget adoption.
President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gorey, I'm honored to stand before you again. I am here to bring to you happily the adoption of the figures that we discussed earlier in our public forum for the adoption of the 25-26 General Fund, Child Nutrition Fund, and Debt Service Fund budgets.
Okay. Are there any questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the 25-26 General Fund, Child Nutrition Fund, and Debt Service Fund as submitted by Brandy Mayo, Chief Financial Officer, and as recommended by Dr. T. Lamar Gorey, Superintendent of Schools?
So moved.
Second.
Being properly moved and second, please cast your vote electronically. Passes 6-0. Thank you all, and thank you, Ms. Mayo and team, and Dr. Gorey. Okay, so we're rolling. Okay, item 9D, consider approval of the 25-26 compensation plan. And that is Mrs. Brown. Thank you.
Thank you. Greetings, Board President Colton, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Gorey. Tonight, I will be presenting the 2025-26 compensation plan. For the 25-26 compensation plan, the HR has made sure that we have aligned our compensation with district priorities and staffing needs. The plan is positioning our district to serve students effectively and to support our organizational goals. The purpose of the compensation plan is to publicly identify our compensation to people outside of the public, in addition to people inside the district, so that we can continue to attract, recruit, and retain high-quality employees and remain competitive in the job market for educators. Finally, the plan does ensure that we are in alignment with Board Policy DEA Local, which outlines that the compensation plan shall be approved by the Board of Trustees annually. The board previously approved teacher salary increases, which are included as part of the overall compensation plan. Ms. Mayo mentioned some items coming in with House Bill 2, so that we will be bringing an update to you in July with the compensation for teachers and or other raises as the board outlines. In addition, we conducted a full review of all positions to ensure that the plan reflects current roles and organizational structures in the district. Position titles and classifications have been updated to align accurately with the job descriptions and current staffing. Also, we had targeted increases in stipends for areas in special education so that we could recruit for critical shortage areas. At this time, that we are recommending that you approve the 25-26 compensation plan, and I would like to know if you have any questions.
Are there any questions from the board? Okay. There being none, I would like to entertain a motion to approve the 25-26 compensation plan as presented. Being properly moved in second, please cast your vote electronically. Plan passes 6-0. Thank you all. So now we're going to move to action item E, purchase of playground equipment for Daniel and Hardin Elementary Schools.
Again, good evening, President Colton, Board Trustees, and Dr. Goree. As Ms. Colton shared earlier, we have a lot of great things to look forward to. And as part of the work that's being done with the bond election, as we moved forward with planning and really, as you all saw earlier, some projects being completed. One of the things that was noted during the work was that transitioning Daniel Intermediate and Hardin Intermediate, which was campuses for 5th and 6th graders, they did not have playground equipment. And I'm sure as the bond committee was working, a lot of things they felt that they needed to put in place for those campuses as transitions. But one of the things that we did note, there was no play pad, no equipment. And so tonight, we are asking you, as part of this continuation of work, to purchase playground equipment for Hardin Elementary School and Daniel Elementary Schools for our scholars who will enter those campuses in August. So in front of you, board, you have 2 proposals for pricing for Daniel Elementary and Hardin Elementary School, both quotes that are from Leah Play, I want to make sure I say it, Park and Play, before you. And I want to publicly thank our project managers and our architects again for the work that they've done, because they've been so supportive of us to really maintain cost with the first 3 packages that we've already completed most of the work, that we have some savings. And so that is why we're coming to you now. We don't want those little pre-K 3 and 4-year-olds entering and 1st and 2nd graders going to the elementary schools in the fall and not have somewhere to play. So you have for Daniel Elementary pricing of $173,818.03. And the pricing for Hardin is $174,490.98. Just for your information, as we work with Mr. Scott in our procurement purchasing department, the Leah Park and Play is a member of the Buy Board Cooperative, so we didn't put this on the street for bid because they're already one of the vendors. And so as a result of us using them, we will have pricing and installation. We got a little discount at the start of the school year. And so it is the recommendation of the administration to purchase playground equipment for Daniel Elementary and Hardin Elementary School. In totality, the purchase would be $348,309.01 from Leah Park and Play. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Board, are there any questions? Thank you, Mrs. Fields. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase of playground equipment for Daniel Elementary School and Hardin Elementary School using bond savings? Bond savings?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, in the amount of $348,000, $309.01 from
1 cent.
Leah Park and Play.
Second.
Thank you. Properly moved in second. There being no questions, please cast your vote electronically. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Mrs. Fields.
Thank you.
Okay, now, next, action item F. Purchase of cafeteria furniture for the elementary and middle school and Pace High School. Presenter, Mrs. Fields.
Yes, I'm spending money on my way out the door. Again, we are so grateful to our partners. As we've worked through the bond work, they've been able to negotiate some lower pricing for a lot of the things. We've gotten alternative equipment and flooring and carpet so that we've been able to be fiscally responsible. And thank you, board, and our community. So tonight, again, I am asking, and the administration is asking, as part of bond savings, and this is just through the first 3 packages, just think what will happen over the totality of the bond. For cafeteria tables at our elementary, middle school, and Pace High School. And I have in front of you, if you have it, the list, because at Acton Elementary and Hastings Elementary, they have almost brand-new furniture based on from the 2014 bond. So they're not included, and that is the reason why. But everywhere else, all the other elementaries, the middle school, and Pace High School, and hopefully we'll have some money left, and maybe the high school will get an opportunity. They have fairly good equipment. But if you noticed on the slide presentation, the new flooring, and it's been many years, I don't even think since I've been here, where we've purchased over the last 9 years cafeteria furniture. Some of the campuses are just really sitting at foldable tables and chairs, which of course makes it very difficult for our custodial staff to move those tables, mop properly, clean up, have to move back. A lot of manpower and labor-intensive work that they have to conduct to keep our cafeterias and spaces clean, along with some of it is just mismatched, all of the things. And so we want to ask you tonight if you will purchase furniture, and it is from Indeco, and you have in front of you, of course, it is also an approved vendor on buy board and tips with the manufacturer as National Public Seating, and it is also a part of a co-op. And this saves us time because we want to take possession of this equipment before school starts. So when our students return in the fall, I think they're going to be so excited about having new cafeteria furniture. It will be the kind that's collapsible. And if you've been at Acton before, you know it folds up, it rolls, it's on casters, they can move it, and it will turn into really more adult seating because it's going to have the bench type seatings when they are able to turn it around. So board, we're asking tonight, you have there's 550 cafeteria tables there in all the campuses listed. The total pricing for this is $605,245, of course, with bond savings. And we are so, again, appreciative of the work, and not even, and don't want to leave out our internal team as we've worked very diligently to try to see. And Kamar will tell you, and I think every time we've met, I'm trying to save money. How much does it cost? Because I know there's some things we need to do for our scholars. So we're asking for your approval tonight.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the purchase of 550 cafeteria tables from National Public Seating and Indeco for Alexander, Billhart, Daniel, Fairmeadows, Hardin, Hyman, Merrifield, Byrd, Kennemer, Reed, and Pace High School in the total amount of $605,245.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion? Great job.
Thank you so much.
Please cast your vote electronically. Motion passed 6-0.
Thank you, board, so
Thank you
much. We
very much.
appreciate it.
Yes. Awesome job, and thank you to the team. Okay. We will now move to information and discussion items. The first item is security and safety update, intruder detection audits. The chief is the presenter.
I think I'm just here to give Ms. Fields a break for a second. Looks like she's next as well. Madam President, trustee members, Dr. Gorey, the safety of our students and staff is the top priority for us at Duncanville ISD, as well as for the state of Texas. As part of Governor Abbott's school safety directives following the tragedy in Uvalde, the Texas School Safety Center recently conducted an intruder detection audit at one or more of our campuses. These audits assess whether unauthorized individuals can access a campus and help identify areas for improvement, such as securing exterior doors. We're working closely with our School Safety and Security Committee to address findings, train staff, and enhance campus security. These audits, supported by the state, are one of the many steps that we are taking to strengthen our school safety. While we understand that the community's interest in the audit's results, sharing specific details could compromise campus security. So full results were provided to you earlier in closed session and discussed with the Safety and Security Committee. It was discussed with the Safety and Security Committee. Duncanville ISD remains fully committed to maintaining a safe and secure learning environment for all. Questions?
Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item is 10B. Approval of TASB policy update. Yes.
I'm at the end. Well, before I get started, and I'm not going to belabor the time, but I would be remiss in not remembering my parents at this time to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And now with that, so I can keep myself together, we're going to present to you tonight an overview of the Texas Association of School Board Policy Update 125. And board, as you are aware, we have a two-step process where tonight I will present to you the overview of Policy Update 125. And next month, you will take action on this. This is a small presentation and update because, stay tuned, because Policy Update 126 is going to be mammoth because it will be based on the 89th legislative session that is just concluded. And so everything all the administrative codes that will change, everything will be codified, all the laws, everything will. So stay tuned. I talked to our TASB consultant, I guess a week or so ago, and I guess I'm getting out just in the nick of time because it's going to be big. It's going to be big. This one, of course, only has 27 legal policies, okay? And you don't have to approve the legal policies. Most of these legal policies are really things that, even from the 88th legislative session, that are just now becoming administrative code. So you have those inside of your packet, but I'm just really going to review the local policies, and these are the ones that you do have to approve and you could possibly even modify. So of course you see that I've just shared that with you, the revisions to really a lot of that text administrative code. You see the number, totality, there were 41 policies that the TASB sent us this time. You have all the explanatory notes in front of you in the packet, but I'm giving you, I think I have 3 more slides, 2 more, I don't think. So I have listed for you at just a high level of the local policies, and BDAA local. The heading of this is officers and officials and their duties and requirements of board officers. And really, this is recommended as a local policy for board officers' duties and requirements. Specifically, if you looked at your explanatory notes, it talks about the fact that the board may, at currently have assigned a district employee to provide clerical support to you as the board. And because that assignment, the secretary who's been supporting you as a district employee, they are now deleting that portion because the superintendent, in essence, has the authority to assign duties. Instead of you assigning duties, they're changing it so that the superintendent, and it just aligns with that. Along with the vice president, if you've noted the explanatory notes, that in the event that the president no longer is able to serve, the vice president automatically becomes the president due to a vacancy, and they will serve as the president until the board reorganizes. So that's one of the first ones that you have there for your review. BDB local, again, talks about the organization of internal organizations and board committees. And so here is very changing really the board committees and advisory committees, and the subtopic is changing from internal committees to board committees, a new revision of how these committees are formed and how to dissolve any special committee that you may have. And so they've changed the language previously that was about special committees. It's been moved to BDF local. So a lot of this is editorial. BDF local, I just spoke to you about that. Advisory committees, like we have had the Citizens Advisory Committee. They've changed it from Citizen Advisory Committee to just simply Advisory Committee. So the language has changed, again, very simplistic, a lot of editorial language there. And a part of that is the dissolution of those committees. It's recommended. So once you form a committee, I don't think we had anything in our policy that says how we would end or dissolve the committee. I will move now to EI local, which is academic achievement, and that policy, it says at partial credit. That's the headline of the line, the heading there. It recommends changing the phrase combined grade 4 with average of, and that's mostly just for clarification of what we've had in the past to determine the awarding of credit when the student passes a grade for only half of a course. FDE, local, admission, school safety transfers, and make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yes, give me my paper here. This is aligned with the unsafe school choice option guidance handbook. And I was visiting with Mr. Graham about this. He and I visited about this policy where they're adding bullying to be recommended as an inclusion of an offense in which the district must collect data and maintain it, and it aligns with this unsafe school choice option guidance handbook. So we're in compliance. We do track our bullying, the number, all of that. So if we ever have to show the alignment with that, we will have it. FEC local, the attendance for credit, and there's no new policy there. Board, if you would go to the link, the actual link there on our actual online policy, it will take you directly to our District of Innovation plan. And so they're just basically cleaning that up for us, that this policy was impacted. And if you remember, I guess it was last month, we brought the new District of Innovation plan to you. So basically the link will take you to the new plan. That's one of the things there that's really editorial. And lastly, FFAC local, wellness and health services, medical treatment. And I see our Director of Nursing, Nurse Grant, in the audience. She and Mr. Graham have been visiting about this one. This is the local policy that asks us to list any medication, unassigned medication for respiratory distress. If we keep it on hand, if an adult or a child would have any type of respiratory distress, we have to insert that in the policy. And so I'm not an expert on that, but Nurse Grant is, and so they're working on that, and we'll present that to you finally, if indeed we do keep that on hand. And with that, any questions?
Thank you for organizing how this information is presented to us. It's much easier to understand.
Thank you very much. Leave instruction. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I am going to close, but I cannot leave tonight. This is my actual 9-year anniversary because I got hired on the third Monday night in June of 2016. And so it's kind of ironic that I would be standing here with this last presentation tonight. But again, Herbert and Shanita Hill said, when people are kind to you, tell them thank you. And you all have been so kind. And I am so grateful to have had the opportunity. If I don't get a chance to see you next week or whenever, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to all the people that are behind us, from the bus drivers to the custodians to the cafeteria people, everybody. Thank you.
So, Mrs. Fields, you know you're going to have to come back.
So she's promised she'll always answer my call, right? And I'm gonna play like she's on vacation as long as I can. And also, she's also volunteered to come in a couple days a week to help us get school started. So we're gonna, this is gonna be gradual, okay?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So we will now move to communications from citizens, there being none. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Have a good night. And thank you all.